Fine. Right there is perfect. It's good. We're good. Need to gather.
Good day all. Wow, I love it. I love when the room is full of happy conversation and good buzz. Thank you all for being with us today. I'm talking super loud, Mike. You may want to save the rest of the restaurant from me. But welcome. My name is Jill York. It is my honor to be your president these days, and welcome you to our July meeting of Grayson Area Chamber of Commerce. And we've got a couple of real treats for you a little bit later on with our featured speakers. I think you're going to enjoy, learn a lot, maybe even find a way to help yourself out at work with a little bit more help and extra hands. We always start off by reminding ourselves about the pillars of why we do what we do. You'll find this at the top of your agenda. The mission of the Grayson Area Chamber of Commerce is to represent the business interests of its members and promote the economic and cultural growth of the community. We feel like that every project that we do, everything that we put our efforts toward, as long as it plugs into one of those three things, we can't go wrong. So we appreciate the leadership and the great things that you all bring to our community. Right now, we are ready to hear the good news from Mr. Mike Nelson, who is our chamber coordinator. Make him welcome. He will tell us who our new members are, who's getting ready to be a new member, and make any introductions in the room for us. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you. All right, so welcome everybody. We've got a couple of new members of the chamber to say hello to. We want to welcome one of the guests that's here with us today, Morning Point Assisted Living in Russell. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Since you're here, we're going to put you on the spot. Make you stand and tell us a little bit about Morning Point, please.
Well, I'm Stacy. I'm the community. There. I'm Stacy. I'm the community relations director at Russell. It's our Morning Point is assisted living and memory care community. So I take care of all the marketing. I take care of admissions. We were discussing it a few minutes ago. So essentially the happy police. I do external business development. I'm all over the place, from Louisa to Russell to Moorhead. So if you guys ever need anything from me, if you guys have mom-walls or pop-walls or anybody that is looking for independent living all the way through secure community living, I'm your girl. So thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for seeking out and wanting to be part of our little group here. We certainly appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
Also, we have a brand new bookstore that's opened up. Hometown Bookstore is opening up on Saturday. They're located just down on the other end of Main Street, next to next to where the new sushi restaurant is going to be, Yummy Express, right next to it. But we open up Saturday. We have a ribbon cutting scheduled at 11 a.m. We'd love to see you come out and support brand new business. Hometown Bookstore opening right there. Speaking of Yummy Express, I did get an update from them. They had a little bit of an issue getting their hood that they need for their stove or oven or like that situated, but that looks like that is now in place. So probably in the next couple of 3 weeks, they'll be scheduled an opening. And definitely, he told me that we'll be the second person to know. So that way we pass along to you guys, and we have already discussed the ribbon opening, grand opening, all that kind of thing. So fun news, fun news. So yeah, a lot of things are happening. We're certainly glad to see these new businesses come to town, and of course, obviously, join your chamber. So if you know somebody who's thinking about opening up a business here in town, needs a little help getting started, definitely get a hold of me. I have worked out with Lindsay over at the city building to give you information on what you need to know to get your business license and get things moving. So with that, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mike. Good job, Mike. We love having new members. And speaking of new members, I had an opportunity Saturday to go out and take the big scissors, which I was careful to return to Mike because I cannot be trusted with big scissors. Although I have learned that they People will look at you funny, but they will leave you alone. You carry them. Here's the deal. We were able to cut the ribbon officially on Tiger Creek K9 Retreat, another new member that is just out the AA, just about 8 minutes away from what you think of as the crossroads here in Grayson. And if you have a dog and you ever need it washed or boarded or any of those good things, or trained, check these folks out. They have an amazing facility. The thing I was most impressed with is they don't just have kennels, they have little puppy suites. Truly, they are carpeted, and they look like something that you might rent in Japan to take a nap in. I mean, they are nice looking. So our congratulations to Seth and Alicia Patton on that, and they are also new chamber members. So let's give it up for Tiger Creek. Hey guys, retreat. So we have gotten through our coordinator's report. Now we're up to official officer reports, and the first person I'm putting on the spot is our secretary, Rachel Burke. Rachel does a good job getting the tail of our activities down. Are there minutes on the table? There are. If you have had a chance to look at those, yay. If you have not, take them with you, and you can see all the good news and activities that we were into last month. But if anyone has had a chance to peruse those, at this time I would call for a motion for us to approve them as presented. Thank you, Mark. Is there a second? Rory, second. Thank you so much. So we have, it's been duly we have made a motion and seconded to approve the minutes as presented of our June meeting. If there is no discussion, let's proceed to vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say nay. I love it when it's quiet. All right. Good deal. Thank you, Rachel, and thank you all for your kind attention to that. Next up, another great report and a great lady giving it to us. This has been a busy summer, and it's busy still because we've just come off of Memory Days, which is a lot of dollars in, dollars out. Wonderful promotion and sponsorship in the community. Let's give our kind attention to our treasurer, Betsy Fan, for that.
Hey, hi. This is year to date through the 11th of July, and our gross profit, we brought in $60,548.12, and that includes memory days. Expenses of $47,727, and our total cash in the bank is $105,218.
All right. What did you tell us dues today in that by chance?
Our dues, okay. Dues, we need to work on our dues a little bit, and give me just a second. Excuse me just a moment. Okay, dues income has been $8,055, and that's for the whole year. So I would encourage each of y'all when it's time to do your dues renewal. We sent a letter out earlier about the membership levels because we need to get all those updated. So if you would just reference that or let Mike know and we can send that to you, we would really appreciate that because that'll really help our numbers a lot.
There you go. Thank you so much. So make sure that you are at the proper tier of involvement, because we do try to make our dues accessible, which means that if you are a really big employer that makes millions of hams a year like Smithfield, you might be at the top of the tier. And if you're a mom and pop business on Main Street with just 1 or 2 employees, you will be at the lower end of the scale. But there is a scale, and we ask you to self-report on that for us. And those great dues make a lot of good things happen. We do have a little chamber presence, a little office, and in our office, we have help. We have our coordinator, which really makes a lot of the hustle and a lot of the recruitment and a lot of the good news happen. So the dues work for the chamber, so thank you all for that. So let's talk about approving that treasurer's report. Thank you for that. Betsy, is there a motion that we approve the treasurer's report? I'll motion. Got it? Thank you so much. Is there a second? Thank you, Mark. So it has been moved and seconded that we approve the treasurer's report for our July meeting here as given. All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, same sign. Good deal. Thank you all, and thank you to Betsy. Also, let's look at old business. To my knowledge, Mike, we had nothing left on the agenda to bring up for action at this meeting, so that will be a quick box change. Moving on. Now we are up to any project reports and updates. Nope. We lived through memory days and we're tired, right?
That's right.
That's what happened there. I will make mention of one thing that we need to think about. Whoop, I'll get on the new business to do that. So, moving to new business. And it will be up to you guys to tell me if there's any other than this. But believe it or not, July is when you need to start thinking about what we're doing for the holidays and promotions for the holidays. Last year, we gave birth to a new way of tracking hometown sales and stirring up hometown sales, and that was the mistletoe market. So if any of our retailers in here, if you saw, had boxes, and any of us local shoppers carried those cards around and got those punched. So how much punching was everybody doing? A lot. A lot. I think Pam's Place did one of the first sales.
Yeah,
we launched.
we're ready for it.
All right. So, Mike, it's time to think about that again. And believe it or not, July is the time to start recruiting businesses that want to participate. And if there's any other news for our retailers that we can help you put out in social media, or we can share in blogs on our website, please let us know. Also, any great news that's happening at any of our wonderful establishments. If you have an employee that's having an anniversary, a business anniversary, or if you just expanded, or if you just, gotten some folks back from training or something like that, let us know so that we can talk about it. We can put that out there and keep your name, your organization, and your business in front of all of the folks here in Carver County. So I will mention that as new business. Any other new business before the group?
Jill, I would like to announce a new business endeavor. At Bit of Time Treasures, and I don't know how in the world it happens, a God thing, but we are opening up a Bit of Time Treasure gowns. And it is wedding and prom and special occasion, and we're going to have like a mini store here on Main Street in our building, and then a whole nother store at Old Hill. So keep that in mind.
So not only opening up something new, but she immediately jumped to being a chain. Two places. That is pretty cool. Way to go, Pam, and thanks for sharing that good news with us. You want that ribbon?
We'll be able to.
That's outstanding. And follow Bit of Time and all the great things that Pam's making happen down there. She is really churning out great ideas and finding visitors from all over. And they're having a good time.
We just left 2 people in the store from England. Go to have some food, family, and go to a plane and go back to England.
Oh, wow. Keep being that investor for us. And now, we're going to have a little special treat before we introduce you to our featured speaker today, and that is to make another great introduction. Somebody that you know, but in a brand new role. I would love for you to put your hands together for Haley Bays. Haley is the brand new director of Grayson Main Street. So Main Street's getting a dose of energy and vigor and cool heart, and she's going to show us how.
Maybe.
No, she won't.
I'm not going to remember the password to my own laptop. Will be Hi guys, I'm Haley. Yeah, you may know me around the area from doing art, but I'm also the Main Street director now. And is anybody familiar with the Main Street program? Main Street America? Okay, awesome. We actually established the Main Street program in 2023, but it's kind of been a little inactive, and there's a lot of reasons that happens. It's not for lack of effort on anybody's part, but I am going to try and get everything going again and get us started in the right direction. So anyway, let's talk about Main Street. So the Main Street program, it's built on 4 pillars, and it's mainly economic development is the goal. And it's economic development in the Main Street district and historical parts of town, about rebuilding, revitalizing, using what we have to grow in the right direction. And some people say, well, aren't you going back in time if you're trying to restore the historical thing? No, we're taking the good designs and the good designs that existed when these buildings were in their prime and bringing them back. So you've got a bright, fresh downtown. Let's see here. So there's 4 components for the Main Street America program. And it's organization, promotion, design, and economic vitality. So each of these has their own little, hang on a second, I had a sheet of paper, I've got about 50 of them up here. Or maybe I wrote it down. Nope. We'll go over that another time before anyway. So the main one that we do want to talk about is organization. Organization is going to be organizing people, businesses, people that live here, shoppers, merchants. This isn't just the people who own businesses and buildings. It's not just their program, it's everybody's program. It's what can we do to make people want to come to Main Street. And I think I love to travel and go on vacations. Every time I'm on vacation, I like to stop in their Main Street and kind of check it out. Or Main Street districts, you know, a cute little coffee shop. Or an ice cream shop. Like, I'm sure that everybody can think of their favorite little store that they visited on vacation. And the goal of the Main Street program is to make that happen here. Where people are, oh, I want to go to Grayson. They've got an open granny. We can go to bit at a time. You know, things like that. And just a cute, fun area, but also for the community and for tourism. Why the Main Street program? So, 20th century economic decline. We all know how that went. Well, some of us, I guess. I've just read about it, but so the decline happened because you've got people that are no longer staying home. You've got people that are all working. There's 2-income households now, so the 9-to-5 shopping has kind of become a little bit obsolete. So in 1979, some people in Kentucky were like, well, what can we do? We can go back and fix these buildings. We can give some people some help with design, grants, fundraising, and we can get our downtowns back to life and make it a place where people want to be. And a big problem with what's happened to our downtowns is malls. I know my whole generation was raised that their shopping experience was at a mall, so you've got this high standard of what it's supposed to be, and these small local businesses that kind of struggle to keep up with it in this economy. So the whole thing is pretty much made to improve image. We want to make new jobs. We want to save tax dollars, and you can save tax dollars by maintaining a historic commercial building. And I'm working on that right now, working on our district. And with the tax savings, you can kind of take an empty building that's costing you a lot of money and turn it into a business where you create jobs and make it pretty to look at. Just in the last year, the Main Street program has seen a $63.7 million return in Kentucky and put $4.7 billion into Kentucky's economy. And that's all through the Main Street program. And then about Grayson. So I'm just getting started. So these are going to be baby steps. It's going to take a long, long time for us to really see an improvement, and that's a big part of the Main Street approach too, is we're not trying to change Main Street overnight. I'm not trying to build a skyscraper on the corner or anything like that. We're just going to do small things together that are going to help us all as a whole. I'm working on getting it to be a nonprofit. It is going to be volunteer-based. We're going to have 7 board members, and we're going to do grants, fundraising, lots and lots of fundraising, and work on revitalization. Like, this would be a great help, even, you know, the folks across the street that are redoing that building right now. I know that's a huge project, and, you know, something like this could really save them a lot of money. But it's part of the Main Street America program, Kentucky Heritage Council, and the National Main Street Center. And you can follow us on Facebook. I've just made Grayson a Main Street page. But also, if you guys want more information, I've got these QR codes up here that go to each website. The Kentucky Main Street website has a lot of good info. Grayson Main Street I'm still working on. And then Main Street America, also a lot of really good info, especially if you're a business owner. And this doesn't just apply to Main Street. Main Street's gonna go beyond actual physical Main Street. But yeah, I'm super excited. I know that's a lot of information I'm trying to get through super fast, but I want people to know, you know, what we are, what we're doing, that it's not, you know, we're not some separate entity, we're everybody working together is the goal of the Main Street. So your chamber, tourism, all of that. And then also, really quick, if you are a business owner or building owner in the Main Street district, let me know, because I've got these little surveys for you, and I'll be getting these every quarter so we can see how we're running. But yeah, that's it.
Well, that's not it. We have questions.
Oh, we don't, that's what asking anything.
First, I'm recognizing this logo here specifically. They work very closely with Locable. Locable, that is the company that the Chamber and Carter County Tourism went with for our community calendars and our websites.
Yes, I've been working with them on the
Working with
website.
that, there you go. I was going to say, that will mean that you will, yours will automatically integrate into the Chamber website. So if we are sharing calendars, then it just expands that and goes further, which was the aim
Yeah.
of the big community calendar. So that is awesome. Haley, I'm sure you know that they also have some grants involved here.
Yes.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yes.
I'm going to play devil's advocate just a little bit.
Okay.
Sometimes, and I don't believe this is your intent, and I'm grateful to hear that, but sometimes when you start talking about revitalization of Main Street, you run into trouble on what is Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And we can designate this very easily, but we also have businesses off of Main Street.
District.
Yes, so it's a whole district, correct?
Yes. Which we're working on how far the district goes right now. We're still drawing the lines for the district.
Good.
Because I keep like, my problem is I want everybody.
And that is not a problem, that is a good thing, to get everybody into the district. The other part of that is, I know we have traveled to some communities probably where you pull into town and everything is super uniform.
Mhm.
And that's by code and that's by design, and that may be some historical emphasis as well. Would I be correct if I said, if I am a business owner here and I have an old building and I want to do it up, that I could apply for help and maybe get some help?
Yes.
But I don't necessarily have to follow some, I would paint gray, I would put these shutters on it. There's not going to be a list of things I have to do.
No. But there is going to be resources and designs and people there to help you. Especially if you've got like a historical building. We'll help you with the facades, everything. A lot of it is design. A lot of design.
Correct.
But you don't have to do it.
You don't have to. And I recognize that this would be experts saying your building is from the 1910s and it looked like this in the beginning and we can help you bring it back to that by doing X, Y, and Z. Right. Rather than some jury saying, we want it to look like this.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. All right. See, the creative person had all the hard questions. So, what do you all think about that? How do you see this benefiting us, or do you have any questions? Because it's wonderful to have the program back and active again.
So I wanted to get, there's so much information. I was trying to make it quick, but good examples of places the Main Street program has done really well. Jim Maysville's downtown in Main Street is incredible. They just did a Christmas movie there. Guthrie, Bayville, they rebuilt Bayville without any help from FEMA. Using the Main Street program, they created a nonprofit. Paducah. If you check out those Main Streets, that's what we're trying to make happen here. However, it is going to be a long process, and it's going to take everybody chipping in how they can in their expertise, everything like that.
Good deal. Any questions for Haley? You did good. Thank you so much. We're going to switch some tech around and turn some lights back on.
It just makes it easier when you go to check out. We can just pull the ticket. Perfect. Thank you.
So, ladies and someone who's going to tell us possibilities about how our businesses may be able to employ some unique individuals that are anxious to be in the workforce. And doing that for us today is Mr. James Chin, who works with Pathways as the IPS Supported Employment Specialist. So please make James welcome.
Hello, I'm James Chin, a curriculum social anxiety. So this is awesome. I'm an employment specialist for Pathways. We help people connect with jobs and employment opportunities in the community. Previously, solely worked in Boyd County, have recently picked up Carter and Grayson counties as well. Very involved with the chamber in Boyd, but I did not have any connections for Carter County, so I reached out and that's how I'm connecting with you all. But we help people with mental health or addiction barriers, overcome those barriers, connect, prep for, connect, obtain, and maintain employment. A big part of that is building relationships with the employers, right? We get to know our people inside and out, but in order to make a really good recommendation or referral to you all, the better we know you guys, the better our referrals are going to be. We get to know you, we get to know your all's leadership styles, we get to know the specific kind of personalities you all are looking for, because we could get anybody a job anywhere, right? But the idea is to find something that they're going to really connect with, and that they're going to do really well at. Like I said, a big part of that is just connecting with the employers. We do employer contacts. This is one of my team members, Kayla. We do employer contacts. We get to know you all. We get to know exactly what it is you're looking for. And then, we pair that with the people that we're working with. It's a very person-centered program. How that looks depends on the person. It's very different. Everybody needs different things. Everybody's experiencing different things. So our approach to helping different people, it all varies. It's very different for each person. But they benefit by gaining access to competitive employment. It's not a position that is made specifically for somebody with something with a disability or somebody who's in recovery. It is something that is open to anyone. So they get a rapid job search. Basically, as soon as somebody says they're interested in work, we start working with them. Now, there may be things that we need to do to get them prepped and get them up to that spot, but we start immediately. As soon as they say that they're ready. They get individualized support. Like I said, it's very person-centered. How I help, this person may be completely different from how I'm helping this person. And they get onboarding support too. So once they find that job, we don't just say, "Yeah, you're on your own." We stick around. We still continue to connect with the employer. We get updates, progress. If there's anything that they need, off the clock, any extra help that they need to kind of help shore them up and make them more successful, we can help with that as well. So it's free help as far as the employer goes. And they get, an improved recovery and well-being. A lot of people just they connect their job with who they are, with their purpose. Just being able to help them connect with, finding that purpose again. And then as far as the employers go, benefits to working with us, like you're getting access to motivated candidates. Nobody is forced to work with us. Everyone works with us on their accord. If they say that they want to work, they say that they want to work with us, they can stop working with us at any time. So anyone that we are working with is motivated to find employment and better their situation. Like I said, you're getting free additional support. You know, like when we come in and we get our updates, if there's anything else that they need help with, if they need help with customer engagement, we can role play on their days off. We can work on those things and help shore that up. Reduce hiring and retention challenges. I mean, we're kind of a free talent in a way. But like I said, that heavily depends on how well we get to know you guys. If we have just kind of a passing relationship, our recommendations may not be as solid. You know, community impact. These are people that they need the help, and especially right now, the job market is so strange right now, and there's a lot of folks that are already down. They're already, you know, dealing with a lot of depression and anxiety, and they may sit and apply for jobs for 8 hours. And you know, depending on what they're applying to, if those requisitions are just for you know, candidate pipelines, whatever, they may apply to 13 jobs that no human being ever receives their application. So being able to get out and follow up on those applications and being able to follow up on you know, job postings and find out if that is candidate pipeline requisition, or if that's an actual open, they are looking for someone right now position, that helps. Because otherwise they start filling in gaps. But I wasn't called back because I'm not good enough. I wasn't called back because you know, I'm not worthy of being hired. But in reality, someone just probably hasn't even seen that application. So we get to help them. But I apologize. I normally have more stuff, and I was just kind of grossly unprepared for the size. You know,
That is not your fault. We fill up the place when there's food involved.
I've got a whole lunch and everything. I totally should. I
We
apologize.
can have you back, no worries. But I'm curious, can you tell us, and I know you just got the Denver area, but where you were before, where are there some success stories? What businesses have?
Well, I'm not sure exactly how much I'm allowed to share as so much, but I can tell you that there's a lot of I have someone who's interested in a welding career, and the job that they have right now is not at all related to welding. However, the tasks that they are performing every single day is a one-to-one comparison to the way that this particular fabrication shop is set up. So they're literally, it is a one-to-one comparison. What he's doing is the exact same thing as what he would be doing there, just with different items.
Gotcha.
But we've had a lot of people. I'm afraid to share too much. I'm not sure what all.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
It's fine.
That's all right. But I'm curious. I'm sure each sector of the business world, I'm sure you have found placements for folks in retail. I'm sure you have found in fabrication.
Absolutely. Then the folks that we're helping and the folks that we're working with, I guarantee you've interacted with them in the past. There's still a lot of folks that still don't know that we do what we do. This is not a new thing. We've been doing this for a long time. I did not know that this position existed before I got it. When I came here, I was looking for HR work. I had led our routine maintenance at the Marathon Refinery for a few years. I've been spending a decade in leadership roles with my former employer, and I left there to work on employee development, and I really locked in on HR, and I was really looking for that. When I found this position, this is employee development, this is community workforce development, this is talent acquisition, this is all the things all wrapped up into one. And it's pretty amazing. But like I said, I didn't know it existed. Here we still run into folks that don't know that we do what we do. But I guarantee you, we've run into people who we have helped get into positions.
Well, the first part of all this is to let us know what you're doing and how our businesses can take part in this. So what does that look like? Should a business reach out to you and say we have a specific need, or how does that go?
I've got a whole bunch of cards here. I'm sorry that my phone number is handwritten on it. I just changed offices. So the number that's on it's not necessarily, you can still use it, but the one that I wrote down is the best one. But, I can pass these out. You guys can absolutely reach out to us, or there's a great chance we'll be stopping in to touch base with people. Events like this are really good for trying to get, not everybody's accessible from the phone, right? So events like this are really a good way for us to connect with folks who might be down the hall and around the corner and, in an HR office or on the second or first floor or something that wouldn't normally be accessible through the front door. But a lot of times we just kind of cold call and just show up and see if there's anything that we can discuss or learn more about. But yeah, I can provide my card, and if anyone specifically has any interest, I'll take names and numbers and whichever.
But, okay, so to get this straight, you provide the person, the business pays them their salary, their income, and is there a minimum amount of time that you would hire?
Oh, they're just getting a job.
That we're paying them or you're paying them?
Oh no, they're just saying they're working for you.
That's what I meant, they're
Yeah,
just getting a
it's
job.
competitive employment. Yeah. So if you were hiring for I don't know.
So you would help me find somebody
Mhm.
that fits, and then you would give them ongoing support as needed.
Yeah,
Keep that job.
they would be getting some free support from us.
Okay.
And a lot of times, a lot of the folks, I don't know about what you've experienced specifically, but a lot of times what I'm experiencing is just a lack of confidence. And when we start working, one of the first things that I do is I'll start kind of educating them on the hiring process and what that looks like. Because like I mentioned, people may have put in, 100 applications and have received, 1 or 2 callbacks. And they start taking that personally. Well, there may be a simple error. It could be an AI screener that scrubbed that particular application because of some kind of error. It could be any number of things. So we start working on the education of the hiring process, and we start to review, what have we done so far, how have your interviews gone, and kind of break those things down and find those little things and make those adjustments. And typically that helps build confidence, and they'll come with us sometimes to do employer contacts. That also helps build confidence. A lot of folks are afraid of speaking to somebody like authority or somebody with a title or something. We have to explain that they get snooze on their alarm, they got irritated at the line of Starbucks, like that, just like everybody else did. The same as everyone else. So.
James, in my understanding, there's also certain tax breaks for employing those.
There can be, yeah. Actually, I have work opportunity tax credit, which let's see, federal tax credit reducing employers' federal income tax liability by as much as $2,400 per qualified new worker. There's also small business tax credits. We also reduced employee turnover, and yeah, we'll go with.
Can I add something to that? Can you get out there?
Yes, sorry.
You also have a fair chance bond if they qualify for that. In the state, they also give that fair chance bond to give the employer peace of mind if something is broken or stolen, the state can reimburse you. So that.
I had not known what that is.
Are these all, I know what Pathways is, my sister works for Pathways, so, are these all, and I don't wanna be disrespectful by any means, but are these some, addictions plus some mental health things that they're
Some of
recovering from to
Uh,
get
you-
back on track?
It could be either or both.
Okay.
And honestly, I mean, at any given point, I probably could have qualified for my own services. You know, and like I said, I was leading our routine maintenance at the refinery for a long time too.
And then the other thing is that I understand the follow-up support, but just like anybody having a position, some of those employments do require drug
Sure.
checks, this, that.
Absolutely.
So do we do those plus do you guys do your own, or is that solely up to the place of employment?
That would just be a new
Our normal, I'm not trying to place these in a different category because they're not, they're humans.
I mean, that particular person may be in a program where they are being tested also, like in
Okay.
addition to. But as far as specifically for IPS reasons or anything, that we don't.
And then the other thing that I think I might have talked to you before, and that is, I can't remember your answer, but others might be thinking the same question, is transportation. You know, some of them may not have that in order to get to and from. How does that work for them?
That is a pretty, okay.
Northeast has transportation that covers all of Carter County. It covers more than Carter, but Carter is one definitely. All they need to do is give a call, and it's not very expensive to do that. They will pick them up and bring them back. It's really affordable, and if they're having trouble not being able to pay for it, there's things that can really sometimes work out for that as well.
I would actually like to learn some more about that because we don't have, yeah, I would like to actually learn some more about things. We don't necessarily have that employee.
And also, in the career profile, by the time that they get to you, we know if they have transportation issues,
Yeah.
so we won't pair them up with somebody who they can't get to. So that'll all be taken care of before we introduce you to them.
Yeah, there's not gonna be any surprises.
Yeah, that'll.
It's like, oh, by the way.
Yeah, that's a box to ask each other, or that employment's not even one that we think about.
Yeah. And like I said, getting to know the business is key. We may have somebody who is a dead ringer on paper and checks every box of what it is that you're looking for, but maybe they respond to a different leadership style than you guys than you subscribe to. So if you're a little more laid back and you want to just be able to tell somebody this is what I need and just have them get it done. But I have somebody who requires way more structure and way more oversight, they're not going to be a good fit for you because they're going to get that freedom in that agency and they're not going to know what to do with it. Or vice versa, if I've got somebody who really needs that kind of freedom and that kind of agency and that trust, and they get into an environment where there's a lot of oversight and kind of some micromanagement, they're going to feel like they're not trusted, they're not worthy, and you know, they may just frustrate themselves out of coming back to work, which is craziness, you know. But like those things happen, so getting to know the business on that kind of level also helps us with our pairings as well, so that we don't, you know, bring you somebody who's just fundamentally not going to work, you know.
Well, we are so pleased that you could come and share with us on the fly, in between moving offices.
Sorry.
And a quick fill-in for us, so thank you. Does anyone have any more questions for James?
I had one.
Yes,
absolutely.
Everybody may know the answer to this, but is there a fee for this?
Is that right?
A fee?
No.
Okay.
We are paid, we work hand in hand with the Office of Oak Rehab, which currently they are on a freeze, they're on order of selection, but they're just not starting to come off of that. And so we've got a lot of folks that are sitting on a wait list, ready for services, to kind of work around that a little bit. We all became CSAs, and so we're able to actually go ahead and start providing our services as CSA, Community Support Associates, for anyone who has that Medicaid. But those who don't, or those who don't qualify for CSA services, they're still on this list. So here soon, once ODR opens up, we are going to have a flood of people who have been looking for work for over a year. And we're going to need to be able to have some good relationships and be able to connect those people.
So they don't have to have an open case currently if they're on your load. They don't have a case with Oak Rehab.
We work with our treatment, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically before, yes, but currently, there's kind of work for relationship. But we work very closely with the treatment team and stuff too. So You know, if they're seeing anybody, if they're looking at anything. And where I work out of, I've got the 25th Street outpatient. You know, we can have anybody in there for any number of reasons. You know, any number of things. So.
Well, I think we've learned a lot. Good questions means we've learned a lot. So we got interest. So let's welcome. We are so grateful to you for that good information, and for everybody that's struggled as an employer to onboard someone and bring them into the culture and expectations there, to know that you have a partner that will try to make that seamless and helpful with any adjustments is worth a lot. Worth a lot to you as an employer. So we appreciate that good information. Now we're up to the last little bit of the day. We'll have to talk fast because I want to turn you all loose at 1 o'clock. But does anyone have anything that they would like to share that we haven't already covered? Betsy, what's up?
Couple of things. November 10th will be our annual banquet and awards ceremony, which is normally in December. We're moving it up a month, and we're going to have it at KCU, so we won't have a limited number of seating, which has been an issue previously. So please mark your calendars for that. Keep in mind, we will be doing the Project Merry Christmas auction and request for donations. So just keep that in mind because we, want to be sure we support them well. We're going to have a committee meeting to start planning that on Monday at KCU at noon. If you're interested in being on that committee, reach out to me or Whitney or Vivian, and we'll be glad to welcome you to that and be a part of that.
And if I may piggyback upon top of that, you will remember that we always recognize folks in the community for exemplary services and things like that. When the banquet moves forward a month, the nominations will be moving forward as well. So you'll be seeing those things arrive quicker. You will also be seeing ballots possibly arriving quicker. We're going to check the bylaws and see if we're stuck on a schedule there. If we're not, then the balloting will move as well, so that we can do our introduction of our new board members at that time. If we are hung on a particular vote date that doesn't work anymore with the banquet moving, then we'll just spread joy and thanks on the outgoing board members at that point. But we will make that work. Any other? Yes, ma'am.
So I'm Julie Davis. I'm with ProSword. I'm your local copier printer gal. We have an office in Ashland. We're going to be doing our ribbon cutting July 28th. It's a Tuesday at 11. So I know I see some Ashland folks in here too. So we get around. So just wanted to throw that out there. It'll be they'll be sending that out through the chamber. But if any of you guys are in the area, July 28th at 11, we're at 1557 Winchester Avenue. Come by for the ribbon cutting. We'll have some refreshments after. So.
Outstanding. Thank you for the invite. We appreciate it. More good news. Ma'am.
I just wanted to remind everyone, so we have the digital screens. If you keep through that way on your way out, that's one of our screens. We do local advertising. If you're a chamber member and a new business, you get 1 month for free. So if you're about to have a ribbon cutting, even if you're already existing, like you mentioned, you're opening an extension, that would count as well. So just reminders, be sure to reach out to get your free month, and then we are very affordable beyond that. So if you want to continue your advertising, I'd be happy to help you.
Outstanding there. Mike.
Speaking of nominations and ballots, a few days ago I sent out an email to everybody. If you'll check it, it is time for the Northeast Kentucky Small Business Awards. It happens in September at Boyd County's Community Center. And we ask you to go through and nominate somebody in several different categories, from new business to small business to entrepreneur, things of that sort. Please don't vote for yourself, but pick somebody you think will be good in our chamber, because I'd love to see another good turnout. We had several nominations last year and a couple of winners. Mm-hmm. So let's fill that ballot up. I'd love to see a bunch of Grayson and Carter County businesses and chamber members as nominations and win some awards this year. So
yes,
check your email.
We can do that. speaking of such, we are always on the hunt for folks who need to be in the Chamber of Commerce. They need to be at the ground level here with us so we can help promote them. We can tie them into great opportunities like we just heard about today and things like that. So never take it for granted that whoever is in business to this side or that side of you is already on our rolls. Bring it up, say, are you? We'd love to have you. Invite them, bring them to the next meeting. We are going to be in a special place next month, aren't we?
Oh, yes, our friends at Commercial Bank is helping us by having our meeting there, and if I understand, they'll be cooking again for us. Yes, so we get some home cooking.
We like it when Mark cooks. So thank you for that. That's very gracious. And
I was going to mention on the small business thing, if you're going to nominate somebody pretty quick, it's the 1st of September.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty quick.
it's honest.
6 weeks.
It's honest quick. Also, our featured speakers for the meeting that's going to be at the Commercial Bank here in town's community room is going to be our legislative delegation. It will be Senator Webb and Representative Flannery will be there to tell us everything they have worked on and things we need to be paying attention to in the future that may affect business and life here in our little corner of Kentucky.
And I will add just something, please keep Miss Robin Webb in your prayers. She had a horse accident.
No.
And has broken several ribs and is in the hospital at this time. So
No.
let's keep her in your thoughts and prayers, please.
Absolutely. She's just trying to get out of speaking, isn't she?
She's, as Lindsay said, she's a tough gal. She'll get through it. But
She is,
still.
but we do hate to hear that, and if you're watching, Robin, get well soon. Okay, folks, thank you for your kind attention today. Thank you for everything you make happen in your businesses, in your organizations, and with leadership in our community always. If you have anything that the Chamber can help you with, hit Mike up. He is the conduit where all the good news starts and flows out in the community. Thank you, Haley, for being with us. Thank you, our friends from Pathways, for bringing us good information here today. If there is a motion to adjourn,
Yeah,
so moved. Does not need a second. Thank you all. We are adjourned.